Hello, everyone. I'm Kim Wells. I'm the VOTE411 coordinator for the League of Women Voters of Delaware in 2020. This is going to be a quick video about how to request an absentee ballot using the Delaware Department of Election's ivote.de.gov website. There are other ways to request an absentee ballot in Delaware. You can download and fill out a form. In some elections in 2020, an absentee ballot request will be sent to you for the presidential primary. But this video is going to concentrate on the ivote.de.gov wizard interface for requesting an absentee ballot online. So in brief here, you're going to go to the website, look up your voter registration, request an absentee ballot, follow the wizard, and key point, if you're requesting an absentee because of the COVID crisis, you can choose sick or physically disabled as the reason code per the Governor Carney's state of emergency declaration. So to get started, you can just type ivote.de.gov in the address bar of your web browser, and it'll bring you right up. The first thing when you use ivote.de.gov is always to look up your voter registration. So you put in your name and your birth date and click this I'm not a robot CAPTCHA and click the lookup button. And once it's found your information, it can show you your own districts, your own polling place, your own registration information, let you change those things. Because it's going to show a lot of personal information, I'm not going to actually do it in real time. I'm going to go to a presentation that we've set up showing when I actually walked through this process and requested my own absentee ballot. I took screenshots. So we're going to walk through it that way. So here's the main page. I filled this out. I clicked the lookup button and it found my registration information. If it doesn't find you, you might have to make sure you've used the same name that you used when you registered. So when I put in Kim, it didn't find me. I had to put in Kimberly, my full name, because that's the way I registered. If you've recently moved, it might have a different address for you, that sort of thing. So when it finds you, it's going to show, like here's my polling location. It's going to show your current registration status. This button in the middle, request an absentee ballot, is what we want to use. Now I want to mention this message right here. It's circled in red. It's not really circled in red on the screen. I circled it in red. It says, we did not find an absentee or provisional ballot associated with this selected election. People have been confused by this. They think it's an error that they can't request absentee because that popped up. No, it's not an error message. It's just informational. It's trying to tell you that for the election that's shown in this middle box here, currently it's set to presidential primary. This is a drop list. You can select one of the other elections here, saying for that election, they didn't yet find that you have an absentee ballot requested. So basically it's saying, yeah, go ahead and request your ballot. There's not one yet for you for that particular election. So don't be alarmed by that message. It's not saying stop, it's saying go. All right, so click the button, request an absentee ballot. It will bring up this wizard interface. It's got a progress bar on the left, 7 steps to go through. The first page is just a terms of use. You'll click the next button. At the end of each step, you'll click the next button to go to the next step. The next step after the terms of use is this page. It has absentee reason. If you're requesting for reasons of COVID crisis, you're going to choose either sick or temporarily or permanently physically disabled. Don't be alarmed. We know you may not really be sick. Governor Carney has said it's okay to choose the sick button if you're social isolating because of the state of emergency. You'll also choose where you want your ballot sent. It can go by postal mail, by fax, or by email. And there's a checkbox to become a permanent absentee voter or not. If you're requesting absentee for purposes of COVID, don't check that box. That's not a valid reason to become a permanent absentee. It's only for this year. You click the next button after that. The next 2 screens are personal information. It asks for your phone and your email and your address. when it says your location on election day right here, that's designed for if you're on vacation. It would be, you know, I'm going to be in Florida. In this case, if you're requesting for COVID, you're just you can just say home. I'll be home on election day, and that's fine. The next page is going to ask you which elections you want an absentee ballot for. So for purposes of COVID, we have been cleared to select the presidential primary, which is this one here, which when I did it was in June, and now it's going to say July 7 presidential primary. Check that box. And your school district, school board election may or may not show up here as an option. If it does show up as an option, check it, because that means you're lucky. You can fill out just the single request and cover both the presidential primary and the school board election at the same time. So choose this one, choose that one, click next. And now we get to the fun part, which is the signature page. You can either, if you have a touch screen, sign it on the screen with your finger. You can sign it on the screen with your mouse. We all know those signatures don't look very good. So I chose retrieve it from the DMV. I have a Delaware driver's license. If you have a Delaware state ID, they'll have your signature on file, and you can retrieve that signature instead of signing again. And if you choose that option, it will do a pop-up. It'll ask you for your driver's license number, again, your personal information. You put that in and click the search button. If it finds you, it'll bring up your signature and you'll all be hunky-dory. If you can't do it that way, again, you can sign it now on the screen. Just do your best. It doesn't have to be a perfect signature. And then you'll come to the last stage in the wizard, which is just the confirmation page. It'll bring up everything you filled out so far, including the signature. There are two little check boxes at the bottom. I'm not a robot, and I acknowledge whatever I acknowledged. I can't even remember. After you check those two boxes, you will click the submit button over here. And if all goes well, you will get a screen like this. Your request has been received and will be processed by the Department of Elections. Okay. So if you, I just want to show you, that's the end of the process. That's it, we're done. But I did want to show you, if you request to get it by mail, I want to show you what that looks like. I was a little surprised when I got it in the mail. So when you get the email, it will come from a person's name. This Sarah Densmore is the name that mine came. So if you're looking for Delaware Department of Elections, it doesn't quite look like that. It comes from a person. It says 2020 name of the election ballot. In this case, it'll be 2020 presidential primary ballot, because your school board election, if that was an option, is going to come to you by postal mail. It doesn't have, school board elections do not have the option of being delivered by email. So even if you choose email delivery, it's going to come to you by postal mail. But your presidential primary email looks like this. The body of the email will have a ballot number. And it's got a whole bunch of words here. Don't be confused. All you really need to do is find this link, click on the link, and follow the instructions. The first thing that it'll ask you to do is enter your ballot number. It's prominently displayed here and here. You put in your ballot number, you'll put in some other information to prove it really is you who's casting the vote. And you can choose to vote entirely electronically at that point. You can choose to print out your ballot and return it by mail. You'll have options presented to you on that screen once you click there and follow the online instructions. So that's it. We've come to the end. Thank you for watching. If you want more information about elections in Delaware, go to VOTE411.org. There are more videos on our YouTube channel for the VOTE411 Delaware team. You can check those out as well. Thanks for watching, and good luck in the video.